This is a trade recap for Friday, January 10th. Um, this is my pre-market analysis. Um, so going into Friday, like I said in my last video, at the end of it, um, NFP will usually show us what we want to do by the end of the week. NFP will usually give us direction. So I was pretty confident going into today, but I tried to remain humble because I didn't want my emotions to overtake me. Um, so I did my whole analysis. As you can see, I was looking at NQ. Is today a low probability day? No, because it's NFP Friday, and it was after NFP that I was looking at this. I was short biased because let me replay this. I'll show you the chart. It's like yesterday. Um, so Monday we came into this daily fair value gap. Tuesday we swept this high inside of it, which was also an hourly fair value gap, and sold off. We had a change in state of delivery on a 4 hour, and we sold off with speed. So I was expecting this to be a breakaway gap, and so my draw was previous week low. Right, this is previous week low. So that's my draw. That's why I was bearish. Let's go drop down to an hourly. As you can see here, like 8 o'clock. It's probably look better on the 15 minute. But 8 o'clock, we had this big sell off, right? 8:30, right? So I was like, oh, okay, that looks nice for possible shorts, because this is my draw here. So I wrote all that down here. My POI was this 15-minute fair value gap, the bearish fair value gap, this one here, that NFP created, the news created. And I wrote down my thinking. So price delivered from this daily fair value gap Monday, which I showed y'all, and Tuesday gave us the 4 hour change in the state. That left behind a 4 hour fair value gap that I'm now expecting to be a breakaway gap. And so NFP gave us a slight sell off, and we haven't reached previous week low yet. So that is my draw liquidity. NFP sell off left us with a 15-minute bearish fair value gap, and that's my POI. I wrote this at 9:10, right? So coming into 9:30, I was really zoomed in on the 1 minute chart because I know that NFP can give us really efficient moves. The Friday after NFP can give us really efficient moves that don't tag us in, or like speeds our draw liquidity. So this is a situation where I'm zoomed in on the 1 minute. Here at 9:30, we had this sell off 9:31, and I was like, yeah, this is pretty much my model. We swept the internal high, we swept this internal high, and then we had a change in the state and came back up and retested this fair value gap. Now I entered here because I was like, cool, we're respecting this change in the state. And then we kind of brought back up here, and I was kind of scared, right? I was really scared. But I was like, I'm going to hold my position because I'll either learn from it or I'll re-enter because I'm pretty confident that my draw is the low. I'll re-enter, right? If that's not the case, maybe structure needs to build more. So I entered here, and we started selling off here, right? And so I entered two contracts here on MNQ, and my first draw liquidity was this. My first target was this here, this low. And then my second, this is previous week low. So we come into here, we come into this fair value gap. At this point, I've moved my stop loss here to break even, basically. So like here, I guess. It was like $10 in profit. I just also want to make everybody aware. I'm paper trading, like I said in my last video, for 3 months to prove to myself my system works. So I don't want nobody in this bitch trying to clown me or try to act like I'm faking. I'm telling y'all what it is. Yeah, so like I was saying, price comes into this fair value gap here. It's 1 minute fair value gap, and my stop is at break even, really. So right now I'm just riding the trade, letting the trade ride out. I'm like, cool. I have my stop at break even. Let's see what we do, right? I exit on one con here, right? And then, because we respect this fair value gap and we push down, I exit one con here. These lines here are my macro times, or 950 to 1010. It's usually the macro that I'm watching. So we come into the macro, we have this big fair value gap, but at this point, I step away from the charts, right? And I'm realizing that my psychology is going to need some more work. I'm not gonna lie. I had to step away from the charts because I was so antsy, like so excited to see the trade really play out. And I didn't know how far into this fair value gap we would go, or even if I would get stopped at break even. And I didn't want to micromanage my position to the point where I stopped my own self out or anything like that. So I was like, cool, I'm going to step away from the charts now. And that was me taking an executive decision to manage my emotions, right? As I get more experience, I'll be able to micromanage my positions and get on the chart and know what price to respect. So price eventually in my macro just sold off at the 10 o'clock candle, just sold off into previous week low, and I was out all of my contracts. And that's really the trade recap here. This was my setup. Like, this is my setup. Um, this comes from a lot of back testing. Being able to say I could do something like this comes from back testing. And I do realize that I have to work more on my psychology, understanding like I saw the potential for this at 9-10, right? And when I see potential setups, I get so excited to the point where like I'm in my head and I'm psyching myself. And I don't want to be that type of trader, right? I want to be able to follow my rules and go in there and accept risk and do what I'm supposed to do, basically, right? So the fact that we hit my targets is great, but I realize I have some more work to do in my psychology. But overall, besides that, this is a great trade. I followed my plan. I was supposed to follow my plan, and it worked out. I wish I dropped the chart of this 15 minute, but yeah, it worked out. Um, Great trade overall. Thank you.